everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Lachelle. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get into this video, okay? So you guys know I've basically been living in Cyprus for the past 3 years. I moved from Trinidad and Tobago, so not only was it a completely different language being spoken here, they speak Greek on the island, also it was a totally different culture. It was like a culture shock for me. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the different culture shocks that I experienced after moving to Cyprus. So the first thing I noticed that was just strange to me was everyone has the same name here. Like, oh my God, they all have the same names. There's about 20 names and they just recycle them. Everyone's a George. Everyone's a Yanis. Everyone's a Mihalis. Everyone's a Maria. Everyone is Eleni. Everyone is what another common names? Lucia, Konstantinos, Kostas. It's like, oh my, it's the same names over and over. Like, what the hell was roll call like in school for you? Like, when your teacher was like, Mihalis, like how many Mihalis put their hands up? So the next thing that was really strange and like shocking for me when I moved here also, I was just telling you guys about like village life, right? So one of the things that when we first moved here, we realized like you don't get post delivered to your home. You have to go to like, so in the village, there's like this little square, that's where the bank and everything is, and there's like restaurants and stuff. That's like the main, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's like where everything is. We call it the square, right? So in the square, there's the post office. So you have to go to that post office to collect your mail. If you want to like post anything, you go there and you post it or whatever. So I remember when Simon and I first moved here, in my video I did on why I moved to Cyprus. Remember I said I had to get I was waiting for my yellow slip and they were going to send it to me by mail. We noticed, it's like, okay, we've been here like 2-3 months now and we haven't received any mail. So we were like, oh, it's probably because we don't have those mailbox. So we went to the home store, bought a mailbox, put it there, just in case, because we was like, this is an important document. We don't want them to like leave it just anywhere or whatever. No. Still, we be checking the mailbox and nothing in the mailbox. So Simon asked someone and they're like, no, you have to go to the square to collect your mail. And we're like, what? So your post doesn't come to your front door? No, you go to the square and collect it. That's where all the mails go. So I'm like, what? Are we in? Where are we in? We come back in a time machine or something? That was really crazy for me and till this day, I just had to go to the square to collect all my mail. Everything in Amazon packages, unless you have it delivered by DHL or something, it goes straight to the square. You have to go collect it there. But that's just how they do things here. The other thing that was really strange for me again was, but this I can only speak for me, and this is what I've noticed since living here. This is also like in the community that I'm in that I've noticed. Okay, so no offense to anyone, but I can only speak on what I observe. Yeah, I've noticed it's quite an older population, to put that politely. Yeah, and like if you follow me on Instagram, quite a few of my like Trini friends who follow me on Instagram, they would like when I post snaps or whenever like I go out or anything, they'll be like, you sure you are the right place? Like, cause you're looking like the youngest. And usually most of the times I am the youngest in the room, unless you bring kids or something. Like, oh my God, especially the community that I live in, I realize it's popular for British retirees. So yeah, I definitely notice my age when I go out amongst the people in the community. Yeah, when I go into Limassol, I don't feel, I mean, everyone, within age, but when I go out in Pizeri, Yeah, I definitely noticed there's an age difference between me and the majority of the people in the room. So yeah. Also, another thing is they celebrate name day here in Cyprus. So basically, a lot of Cypriots are named after saints, and on each day of the year, a saint is celebrated. Sometimes you have more than one saint celebrated on that day. So whatever saint is celebrated on that particular day of the year that you're named after, we are then celebrating your name day. So you are celebrated on that day. So we say, Happy Name Day, and you usually give them sweets or gifts or stuff like that. So it's basically like celebrating. It's like a second birthday, more or less. So that was something strange. I never heard of that. But that I don't mind adopting, in my life. I have no problem celebrating myself. So if you give me a second birthday, I would love that one. So this next point that I'm going to talk about here, when I first moved here, again, Simon, wait until I got here to tell me this, okay? But when he told me this one, I was like, that SpongeBob meme where he's like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, that one. I was like, yeah, where's my suitcase? Like, I'm gone, I'm done. No way am I staying here. So guys, when using the toilet over here, you aren't allowed to throw like tissue paper down the toilet. So if you pee and you wipe yourself or whatever, you can't throw it down the toilet. You have to put it in like the bin. And this also goes if you number 1 or number 2.
You wipe yourself and then you dispose of it in like a little waste basket.
You shouldn't throw toilet paper down the toilet. And I was like, hell no. Like, I have never in my life wiped myself and then put it in like a bin next to me. Like, that one, I still haven't gotten used to that. I don't think I ever will. That is very uncommon for me. Yeah. That was the biggest thing for me when I got here. I was like, what? We don't, according to Simon, like the pipe system or the pipes or whatever that they have here are like from how many years ago. They haven't updated it. So it cannot take all that tissue paper. It would clog. So that's why, and this is everywhere. You go to hotels, you go to restaurants, everywhere. There's always like a little sticker that says, please do not put any tissue paper down the toilet. That is just the weirdest thing for me. The last thing I want to mention that was this was the biggest culture shock for me. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody's culture or their way of life or their way of thinking. You notice certain things. Everybody would notice it. But there is definitely a huge difference in the way men and women are treated here. If you're a boy child, you are worshipped. Like, Cypriots worship their boy children. And girls are usually, taught to be the typical get a husband, have kids, and take care of them. That's their role. Whereas boys are like, I don't know, it's a cultural thing, I get it. But for me, coming over here, I was like, especially me being a woman who all for equality and women rights and all of that. Yeah, it's sad to see, but I don't get involved. How you raise your kids is how you raise your kids. Okay, that's none of my concern. But yeah, that was really shocking to see. Yeah, but other than that, it is what it is. You just move, can't do anything about it. Again, this is not to offend anyone. These are just my views and my opinions on what I have noticed since living here. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.